Okay guys, morning, Saturday morning, and getting the old white monster loaded up for a job out in the middle of nowhere. Gonna move a condensing unit. I'm gonna take all my tools, put it in that truck, and away we go. Lost a wheel cylinder on my truck last night, so I'll have to deal with that later. Oh yeah, real nice. So I gotta slam one of those in there. So here we are, our lovely job out here in this lovely country landscape somewhere. There's some sketchy character. We are making a new equipment enclosure here for our condensing unit, a nice little pad and everything. And they're building a nice shade structure here with these fine powder coated poles, I suppose. Supports. Look at that fine welding joint on there. What's that? Columns? Columns? Oh my. That's an interesting word. But these are really nicely welded up and powder coated by somebody who knew what they were doing. And here's our condensing unit. Quite a piece of shit, actually. Anyways, you see there's been some sketchy business going on here before. Couples and funny things going on. Anyway, so we're covering it. This one there, I bet you it's going to be a full hell of a lot faster than last time. That's good. So we're cutting this down. We're going to cut our lineset back there, couple it, run it through some electrical conduit, and out to there. Now I've got a new lineset sitting in the back of the truck. So, more in a bit. We got this machine recovered and all the charge. We got our line set cut, deburred and swedged open, ready to accept the new line set. Put some service port caps on here so you don't get any dust in. Took the shaders out. We have our conduit in for our high voltage power. This is a little separate. This is going to go to some high voltage lighting over that way. Buried in the same trench. And then right now we're working on our control wire conduit. It's this piece of 1/2 inch. This big 3 inch is what we're going to pull the line set through, and then the 1/2 inch is for the control wire. So that will stub that over there. Let's see what we need. Yeah, it's just coming out of the. We'll have to just tape it up on that end, I guess, because there's no existing conduit. We're going to come out of here. There's our control wire, and then a piece of flex out of there, and then into the control panel. So we got our line set all taped up, ready to go. Ready to push in the trench. And what are you working on over here? Some kind of sandwich situation. Okay, we got everything brazed up and nitrogened it last night. Checked it, held 270 pounds without a problem. 275. I got our vacuum pump evacuating it. Brazed joints here, looking pretty. Got our micron gauge on there, and she's pulling right on down. She's dropping a little slower now, but she'll pull down to 500, methinks. We'll isolate it, but that's the real test. Make sure we have no moisture in there. We got all of our conduits fed through. Now we're gonna need to pull the wire, the high voltage and the thermostat through still. Here's the joints over here. Tubing expander really shined for us. And there's this guy again.
You ready to heat up some conduit?
Yes.
well?
Yeah. Okay. Let me show you the old micron gauge here. You're probably not becoming familiar with that. That's the real test. Make sure that when you see this, see we're already below 500 now, or at 470. That's telling me that there's absolutely, this will tell you faster than anything else if there's even the slightest leak. See, the nitrogen is kind of a rough estimate, but this is telling me that all the moisture, all the contaminants, any acid, anything is out of the system once this is below 500. And technically it has to hold that with, right now it's isolated, so that's the true vacuum inside the system. You see it's coming up a little bit, so that's normal.
And microns is what?
It's just the tiniest measurements of vacuum.
Oh.
You see it's coming up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to go much past there. So that's for our customer here. That is a-okay kind of thing. So look at that. You see it's completely isolated right now, and you see it went up to 520, and now it's back to 5 again. 490. So, and I'm not sucking on it at all. That's just how much it's varying just in its own little world there. So, but we'll let it run for a little bit longer. No reason why not. And then.
So that's taking all of the existing air out of the system.
Air, and moisture. Any little residual amounts that could be left.
And there shouldn't be any. I mean, because it was flushed with nitrogen.
Right.
And, you know, it was flushing as we soldered and then sealed it up, so there shouldn't be anything in there. Right?
No. Yeah. But there's no telling what little bits of air could be trapped in oil in the evaporator coil or something like that. So this is just ensuring that everything is. And you know, on a new line set, guys will pull it down to 200 microns or something, you know, because there's no oil in the system at all. It should be exactly right. It should be just perfect. But you see, this will probably pull down to 300 or something, and that's as low as it'll go. But anyway, so we'll let this run for a little bit longer, and then
get all of the this stuff all tucked back in.
Yeah, well, that's what's making it loud. Is all this stuff in there.
Yeah, even if we have to drill a little hole and zip tie it so it's not rattling, whatever we got to do.
No, we'll get it
quiet.
Yeah, and this right here is bad news, so we'll get that. All right. We're back at this job. We didn't have enough time to get a blower board. We need to get it working, so I just got a little pin relay to get the fan to work. This panel back on, and this thing is just a veritable potpourri of electrical issues. Potpourri of electrical issues. And so we're charging the refrigerant back in. And defrost board is bad too. Imagine that. So we just manually powered everything up. Got the Y signal going straight to the contactor, common, and the reversing valve too is cooling active. So we'll get them working for now, and we have to come back with a defrost board, I guess, before winter time at least. We got it working for now. We're evacuated. We'll check our superheat and stuff in a minute. Just charging. I know we're going to need, like I said, we increased the length of the line set. Yeah, and then we got all our control wiring in this liquid tight here, coming up, and we got a little flexible liquid tight whip for our high voltage. Everything's grounded, of course, and the disconnect switch. So that's pretty much it, and we got our, we installed the filter dryer, everything is, so we're icing up a little bit, so we're definitely going to be a little low on charge before we're jumping. So yeah, so we'll put a little more charge in this thing and see what happens. Got it all done. Our coil is cleaned and our little compressor blanket on there. We're running nice and quiet and happy. Got our armor all on there over by the house too. Got our panels back on and isolated from vibration and such. Nope. But I'd say it went pretty good, wouldn't you?
You know, that blanket did make some difference.
It's not huge, but they're only claiming a 5 decibel difference, so. But that's about what it is. So I can sleep tonight. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Who might it's cold. But the head pressure's down a little bit too with that fine cooling coil.
Right. You checked all that stuff, it's all looking It's tuned up as nice as it can be. Just making nice cubes.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not an ice cube maker, so no, but it's making figuratively. Yeah, you know, I got a. Well, they need to put that P-trap on there and the overflow. And we also got our flex tighting over here, all nice. Nice and nice. All the dirt filled back in. No more trenches. And so I guess we'll wait and see if they want a defrost board. Alright, bye.